they were talking about the problem of evil, and I was explaining that evil isn't a separate entity. Evil is just the corruption of good. It's, if you talk about my scientific definition of evil, it's the randomization of the order that eventually leads to death. Any randomization or corruption of the good that leads to death is evil. So the randomization isn't an entity in and of itself, it's just the lack or the disruption of the order that God originally intended. So there's a total different way to look at it, but it starts from my premise, which is order is primary and disorder is secondary. And disorder is always smaller, but it's destructive. So if you think about it, the code that makes up what disorder is similar to a virus. It's a very small code, but it corrupts all of that ordered code that's in the organism that eventually can lead to death of the organism itself. So evil, disorder, randomness, and chaos, they are not unique, separate entities. They're just the disruption, the corruption, the perversion of the order and the structure and the good that exists. That's what you want to do. So tell me why you like that.
Well, yeah, I was thinking that was good because, a lot of people think that evil is like a separate entity.
Yeah.
Than good.
Like they give it a personality equal to good. Like they almost try to do the yin and the yang.
Yeah, yin and yang, right?
Yeah.
And then when you tell them that, oh no, it actually is just the perversion of good, then it changes a lot of worldviews that people would have.
Yeah, there's no creativity in evil. There's no creativity in darkness.
Yeah.
It's just the distortion, corruption, and contamination and destruction of the order that previously existed.
Yeah.
Satan doesn't have any creativity. All he does, if you could say it's a creative way to distort the good, I actually think that creativity means to increase order and increase structure and increase complexity in a way that benefits whatever that is that you just added that order to. Not so in darkness and evil and randomness and chaos and disorder. So, and they're not equal at all. We talked about that. I think it's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. It's 1/3 good, 1/3 in the middle, and then there's 1/3 that's bad or evil. And that goes for the world's population. It goes for the physical things that exist, how they're used. Because you could take anything that's good and you could turn it into something bad. Hammer's supposed to use to build something, but you can use it to hurt people.
Yeah.
So it has the potential, but then we make it kinetic. We turn that potential into a kinetic form. So we're responsible for that. So all of this evil and all the suffering that these atheists don't like, it rests with our responsibility. We have the responsibility to make things good, but because we're fallen and corrupted human beings, we don't have the capacity beyond our ability.
Yeah, beyond our own selves, we can't control the masses to be just good.
Yeah,
it's just not gonna happen. Because it's so random.
Yeah, because that goes into a whole different conversation. Because you have the people who are the elites who believe they're a higher evolved life form, who believe that they should control the lower evolved life forms. And one of their big goal is to population control, reduce the population because you can control smaller groups of people. Force everybody into the cities because you can control the infrastructure of the city. You don't want people outside living on their own, separated, that can survive. If you think about it, we lived in the farm area. When we lived out in the rural area, we had generators, we had our own water pumps, we had our own food sources. We could have existed completely independent of the city.
Yeah.
And therefore we wouldn't be dependent on the infrastructures that were supplied by the cities, and that gives government less control. And we know that that's part of what this new world order is trying to do is basically control people. And maybe they think they have good goals. They want to make everything nice and wonderful. But the problem is we're inherently corrupted. And even the people who try to bring good, they're corrupted. And you can't ever have any good beyond the corruption of humanity.
Yeah.
That's why there has to be a solution outside, and there is a solution outside. But the first thing you have to do is admit we're corrupted. Our default condition is we're separated, fatally contaminated, and disconnected from the programmer creator, and we're inherently incapable of ever rising beyond our own corruption. We cannot exceed the levels of our own corruption because it's self-limiting. It's like we have a governor on our RPMs. You know.
Yeah, we did remove the limiter.
Yeah. And to misunderstand it is to say, well, we'll just get rid of the governor. Well, it isn't just the governor itself. It's the fact that the entire structure is corrupted.
Yeah.
Everything in it has a limit of it. And the reason why it has a limit is because it is not capable of exceeding its capacity and its ability. So it'd be like an engine that it isn't just the governor. It's just say, because I had a Mazda RX-7 and it had high RPMs.
Yeah.
And what was?
What did it go to? Like
Oh, I think
9?
I think it was 9.
Stock.
Yeah, I think it was 9, maybe even 10. But once it got to that, it was a diminishing point of return because you didn't get any faster. The amount of air resistance that was coming, even though you're 9,000 RPM, maybe you could squeeze out to 10. You could, as the wind increased, the resistance increased, the horsepower didn't increase at the same rate.
Right.
So it didn't go any faster. You might be doing 120, you're just, you're never going to get faster than that. That's it.
Yeah.
So the human race and the human ability is limited to a certain amount of RPM. That's it. That's all there is. And we can't ever rise beyond our own selfish nature. Every person has a selfish nature. And recognizing that is the first step to saying, well, what do I do now? What are my options? Not getting caught up in the fact that you have limitations, but, well, now that I do, what do I do with it? You know, a smart person isn't somebody who tries to defy all the rules. A smart person says, what are the rules and how can I use them so that it benefits myself and everyone around me?
Yeah.
You know, whereas the selfish nature of humanity is, you know, what can I do for me? How can I better myself? Who cares about everyone else?
Yeah.
You know, and you look at, and man, this is a political statement, but you look at the leaders of Hamas, and I found out recently they're billionaires that live in Qatar. They live in luxury, and their people are starving. That all that money that's given by the UN and all that money they give, they skim it all off. And come to find out, I found out that when the Israelis kicked out all the Jews out of Gaza, they left behind all their houses, all their factories, all their farms, all their ranches, and the Hamas people could have just taken them over and given them to their people. They would have had ready-to-go farms, ready-to-go ranches, ready-to-go houses, ready-to-go businesses. But you know what Hamas did? They burned all of that down. They robbed their people of those incredibly valuable resources. Isn't that just unbelievable? And that just shows the corruption.
Yeah.
But if those people would have excelled financially and become powerful, then they could have challenged the leadership of Hamas, but they don't want to do that. So somebody's going to get mad at us. And, how, Steve? A bunch of Jew lovers, you. And like, history is history. And 5 times that I know of, the Jews have offered a 2-state solution to the Palestinians and the organizations that existed, whether it was the PLO and then Hamas now and Hezbollah. And every time the 2-state solution and all the land they wanted to give them was rejected by the Palestinians. And they could look at it from the very beginning, the Peel, what do they call the Peel mandate? There was the one from the 67-day war after that, the 74, what's his name? Ehud Barak offered them land for peace. They rejected that. Just come on, people. Just read your history. Don't get mad at me. Just look at history. My point is that we as humans want to please ourselves. And we can't ever rise above our own selfishness. And that's why it's like a helicopter. The helicopter, if you're on a mountain and you're stranded and you need to be rescued, drops a lifeline down. And when they drop the lifeline down, you're not supposed to climb up the rope or the lifeline. There's a mechanism, you get in the cage or the seat or whatever, and you hold on. And then they pull you up.
Right.
It's like, and that's what God does. God offers you a lifeline. You don't sit there and say, "Well, I want to do it my own way." You tell the helicopter, "Hey, I don't like that. You're being a bully and trying to tell me, control me by telling me there's only one way to get saved." And the helicopter's like, "That's just the way that it is, man. You can either take it or leave it."
Yeah, and I like that idea of like, we don't reach up to God like God reaches down to us.
Yeah.
Right? Because we can reach up to God all we want, we're not going to get there.
No, because we're fatally corrupted and contaminated and
we're disconnected.
Yeah.
So he reaches to us.
Yeah.
And we just have to accept that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then that's the beginning of your new life, that he has a plan for you. And that's what Jesus said. You want to save your life, you lose your life. You want to lose your life, you save your life. He knows the future. He knows what's best for you. Do you trust him? If you trust him, you're good with that. If you don't trust him, then you're not good with it. And you don't trust him because you don't know him. And people say, "You're so arrogant, you think you know God." God reveals himself to us. It isn't like I went out and I found all this stuff out. I just ask, and it says, "Ask and you'll receive." And he showed me. Yeah. He shows himself every day. Today even he showed himself because I had a situation where I almost ran out of gas.
Oh, really?
And I was right on fumes. And I got gas right at that time, and I'm sure had I gone just 1 more, 2 miles more, I would have been out of gas. God could have done it a lot of other ways. But God's not the one who made the choice. Adam made the choice.